Hello, everybody, and hello, Sparks fans. Welcome back to episode 22 for our Sparkstember extravaganza. And yes, we are going to be talking about the seduction of Ingmar Bergman. The cover is what it is. I like, I like the edition that Larry Graves has when I watched his review of that from 4 years ago. And it came with a nice little booklet. It was nice. Yeah, it looked nice. If I ever get it, I would want to get that particular copy. But the cover that I put on the thumbnail too is still a decent cover. I mean, it does represent what it is. I give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, it's pretty decent. It doesn't feature the boys themselves, so I'm calling them boys, and they're in their 70s. That's funny because I still think of them as their young selves when when they were in their prime, you know, which they still are in many ways. But anyway, yeah, let's get to the scoring. And the scoring didn't, well, I can't express how accurate. I mean, I say this. I didn't invent the scoring method, but I'm incorporating it into my rankings and ratings and stuff. And when I say that it perfectly, I think that like when the more I keep looking at my rankings, the more accurate it gets. I'm so interested in seeing the next four. And at the end of this, okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the next four that I'm going to be reviewing. Uh, Not no spoilers, but you'll see. So okay, let's get into the scoring of the seduction of Ingmar Bergman. So, starting with a 1956 Cannes Film Festival, the opening track, I gave that a 9 right out the gate because I love once that beat kicks in. It's an interesting sound that they don't really get back throughout the entire album. They have that particular, almost like a techno sound, but I really enjoy that. Oh wait, I want to get my rating thing here for you guys. So a 9, which means it's very good. It is very good. I like it. A little talking part of I am Igma Bergman, like basically his introduction. I give it an 8. It's not bad. It's not bad. Before I go any further on this, I just want to say that last night I did listen to it. Okay, I listened to the whole thing last night, and I played the whole thing this morning when I got up. And that's when I did my ratings. And but last night, while listening to it, after it was all done, I thought to myself, yeah, I can't rate it any less than an 8. Okay, I'm not gonna rate it less than an 8 because it's not an 8. It's at least an 8. The whole thing is at least an 8, regardless of the talking parts, whatever. I can't because say, okay, I'm getting bored with. It's actually not that bad. It's not bad. So I can't give it anything less than an 8. So you're not gonna see a 7.5. You're not gonna see a 7. I know that's a little bit of a spoiler, but I just wanted to say just because of the nature, it would be unfair just to single out the speaking parts as because they have some instrumentation and they're not boring. All those speaking parts, they basically it's all plot driven, and so it's giving you a lot of you know exposition basically, and so it doesn't really deserve to get anything less than an 8. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there ahead of time. Now talk about track number 3, Limo Driver, Welcome to Hollywood. Very good, 9. I do love that it's Ron that has that the character of he's the character of the limo driver, and I find it okay. I find he sounds a little bit like Kermit the Frog. He reminds me of Kermit the Frog. If he just maybe just a slight pitch higher, just slight pitch higher, and maybe the slightest bit of I don't know, just a slight bit of nasal, he would sound he could sound just like Kermit the Frog. And why I think is why I consider that very good is because, you know, look at the Muppet movie. There's a couple of really great songs sung by by Jim Henson as Kermit, doing his Kermit, and those are great songs, like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. No, that's no. I mean, the Rainbow Connection. The Rainbow Connection. The way he opens the track with. I always love that. I always love the way Kermit the Frog sings it. Is yeah. So it reminds me of Kermit. Like yeah, Ron reminds me of Kermit the Frog in that song particularly. Well, all through it. Anything. Just the way he delivers the lines is a bit Kermit the Frogish, and in a good way, and I actually like it. So Um, here he is now. That gets a 8.5. I think it's good. I think it wasn't bad. It's a nice little bridge between the limo driver and Mr. Bergman. How are you? Which I give a 9 also. I really I do like it. He'll come round. I get an 8.5. En route to the Beverly Hills Hotel. That gets an 8.5. The Hollywood Welcome Committee. That gets an 8.5. And then he gets to contact. I've got to contact Sweden. I've got to contact Sweden. That gets an 8. That gets an 8. It's not bad, because I already made my mind up last night that I'm not gonna give any score less than an 8. So an 8 it could be that's the lowest score it can get. The studio commissary. I like it. I like it. So he gives a 9. So it's very good. I must not be hasty. That got an 8. Quiet on the set. That got an 8. Why do you take that tone with me? That got an 8. Pleasant hotel staff. That got an 8. That's just right in the middle of it's basically right dead center of the entire story, and it's just basically filler of adding more plot. Yeah. So they all get 8s. But then the Hollywood tour bus that gets an 8.5. I thought it got a little cooler. And then autograph hounds that gets a 9. That gets a 9 because I thought that was very good. And then Bergman ponders escape. That gets an 8. Yeah, that gets an 8. uh, and then I've got to turn him round. I give that an 8.5. I thought that was just a little bit better. Escape Part 1 and Escape Part 2, I give them both each a 9. I think that, yeah, they were really heightened up the plot of the of the we're getting to that's the apex of the then oh my god, I give that an 8.5. And then Garbo sings, that's pleasant. That gets a they're both good. I give them I get an 8.5. Then almost a Hollywood ending. I give that an 8, an 8, And then He's Home. I like the way they do that. Is the way Russell sings that. So it gets a 9. So where does that factor? Look at that. I had to actually stick an extra piece so it can fit the whole thing. So it folds out this one. Huh. So where does it score? So remember, there was 24 tracks, so I had to put it somewhere. Okay. Let's get this a little closer so you can see those numbers. I don't want to hide anything. I can probably hold it like from here. Yeah, yeah, there we go. And yeah, take a look at that. Oh, I really want to make sure I'm not covering anything. So yeah, okay, there you go. Look at so it just stays between 8 to between 8 and 9, to from not bad to very good. There's nothing great or awesome on it, and there's nothing that's just okay and nothing I would skip. I mean, you have to play the whole thing and for it to make sense, right? And as a whole, to keep it all in context, yeah, I cannot get anything less than an 8. So with those scores of all those nines and those all and all those 8.5s, right? It does actually very perfectly evens it out to an 8.5. I had to calculate it all three times, and all three times it came out to 8.5. So it's like, okay, that has to be right. With 24, different tracks. So I'm saying that's so accurate. Where does that put it on on the whole grand scheme of things? And remember, the last thing I I reviewed and ranked was exotic creatures of the night, which goes between pulling rabbits and balls. That's where exotic creatures of the night goes. But where does this go? Well, remember 8.5. So that puts it right under music that you can dance to, but just above interior design. I'm sorry, poor interior design. Even though it gets 1 10 out of 10, the rest of it is so bad. Well, it's still again still at 8.3, right? But it still couldn't beat the Ingmar Bergman beat interior design, because it's still, yeah, that's pretty accurate. I think that's pretty accurate because I still really kind of enjoy all that, and that's those are honest answers. I really do feel that they do it justice. Again, I really all that time that Ron sings on it. It just, yeah, it's really well written. It's really well directed and set. You know, it really tells a story in a very, very straightforward, linear, uncomplicated way, so anybody can follow it. It's, yeah, no. So it gets props. That's why it gets a good, second to last, and from here on in, I guarantee all the rest of the albums, the next four, I'm going to be rating. So the next one is going to be the Franz Ferdinand and Sparks. Now I must confess, I had been a fan of Franz Ferdinand long before I became a fan of, even before I knew who Sparks were. I knew who Franz Ferdinand was. I have all their albums, and then yeah, and then it's like, what, they did a collaboration. Once I found that out, like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, because the first place I saw the singer of Franz Ferdinand was in it was from the on the documentary, and I'm like, wow, why is the singer from Franz Ferdinand talking about being, like, on that documentary? And then I hear about the collaboration, and then I get it. So I'm pretty excited. But I will be it's going to be getting a high score. It probably will break into the top 5 because I do really like that album. I'm sure I'm going to be giving it a good score. The Yeah, and I mean, it does count because it is in the discography. It counts as one of the 26, so I have to include it. But yeah, I can't deduct any points for the Franz Ferdinand because I think the whole thing is brilliant. So it is going to be what it is. It's going to get into the top 5. That means Hello Young Lovers probably will get bumped down. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. You never know how it's going to rank until I rank it, right? So we'll see until then. But then of course there's going to be Hippopotamus, and there's going to be a Steady Drip Drip Drip, and there's going to be the girls crying in her latte. So wait, let me just go back and I'll show you. Oh yeah, so I gotta go back in here. It's probably unnecessary to show you, but yeah. So I did add. add the seduction of Ingmar Bergman in there. So you see the FFS and the hippopotamus, a steady drip, 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 and this girl crying. Yeah, those are next. And then a bonus one. Yeah, yeah. I'm having fun with this. So much fun with this. This has been a cool month, and I can't believe we're almost over with this stuff. But right until the very end of September, I will be making Sparks videos. You know, it will continue after the fact. I still will have more to say about this wonderful band, and I'm going to let you go now because it's about 15 minutes already. So you know what I'm going to say. How much I love you all out there and how special you are. And if you consider subscribing to my channel, I will greatly appreciate it and love you forever. And hit that like, give me comments. You know I love those. I try to respond to everybody I can. And so, as always, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.